Look at these grown people, man. What are they going to do with this little boy? This is what happens in witchcraft in your Catholic churches. Now I understand why Muhammad was married to, what, an 8-year-old girl?
Baby wise. That's one of the gods they worship.
Where?
That's one of the gods that they worship in the Kabbalah.
Oh, under the Kabbalah, right? Yeah. I want to get the one on L. I want to get L and Adonai.
Adonai?
Adonai is in here?
Yeah.
Get that real quick. We can't use Adonai anymore. We can't use El, none of that mess. All that's Satan. The only name we can use for the Most High is the name he gave us. Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya. That's it. Ahaya is his name. Weird, right?
It goes into it about Adonai.
Yeah. Here it is right here on Tammuz. They go statues they worshipped also with dealing with wickedness. And you would think that this was some type of history book, right? This is a book for witches. This is a book for witches to let them know the origin of the gods they're following. There's an origin or a belief system set up. The difference between witches and Christians, the witches know they're following Satan. That's the difference. They believe it and understand it. Satan don't care if you don't know it's him, as long as you follow him. So he infiltrated the church. Every time you pray down and you say Jesus, 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 you're praying to Tammuz. Every time. You're praying to Tammuz every time. There's no place in the Bible where grown people were sitting up in a building crying. What scripture is that? I'm waiting for it. The synagogues was a place for learning. It reads here on Tammuz in the Witch's Guide. Tammuz is perhaps the clearest and most dramatic example of the dying and resurrected vegetation god we considered in chapter 5. So the Lord is Adonai, which is Tammuz. And his goddesses Astar or Asterisk. And finally the Greeks, the pair became Adonis and Aphrodite. That's your gods.
Did you say the name? You said Asterisk, right? Is that like a spin-off of the star? You know, Asterisk?
Yes.
So we shouldn't be using Asterisk. You know, like that little.
Or the little.
Yeah, the little. Like that.
The asterisk. It could be. It could come directly from a star. That's what it looked like, a little star. Same thing. So as you can see, we're living in a world of witches and sorcerers. All right? Somebody show them these pictures too. Give them these two pictures. Show them those two pictures too.
As you just showed right here, this is Pan. This page right here, and then this other page that you see right here, this is Pan in its demonic form.
And Pan was that, what, the half human, half human and half animal. They used to show them in all these Hercules movies as this centaurs. Yeah, read it.
Pan, the horned god of the mountains, forests, streams, and valleys, is almost universally worshipped by witches, as the honor bestowed upon him by the title and cover art of this recent book indicate. The ivy and holly are his favorite vegetation. Thus, the ivy covered the buildings on the campuses of Harvard, Yale, and other elite establishment colleges, and the name Hollywood. Pan, whose father is Hermes, god of sorcery, is often pictured as the Green Man, a vegetation-covered deity. The tale of the jolly green giant is a myth begun by his admirers, who Who really is Pan? Well, of course, Pan is simply the devil in a new disguise.
It's a devil in a new disguise. I'm going to show you something too. Remember we was talking about the spirit of homosexuality? From where y'all standing, is this like a man or a woman? Both. When it showed the Satan, when it shows the witch's god, you know, the witch's god is Satan. There's no such thing as a good witch. You can see it right here too. This guy's sitting up here tripping. He's sitting there with women's bosom. This guy is, this is what it is. A man, you know what I mean, with women breasts. See that? That's who they follow. That's why homosexuality is prominent. Every place that Satan spring up and become lord over and control the society, it springs up where you don't know the difference between men and women. That's what happens now, because that's the spirit of Satan himself. And it's all in witchcraft. It's being promoted. So we're getting taken down and getting ridiculed because we are fighting against that spirit and tearing down all imaginations against Christ. And the churches are excusing all this evil. Why? Because they're under a spell under this same deity. They're under a spell. Okay. We got train up a child the way he should go. You got that, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to get the scriptures on the witch real quick. Here's a chapter and verse on witches. And then we can pray out. I can answer a few questions. Okay. Exodus 22.